Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Skill Up with Shari. In today's video, we are going to learn a very important concept in C programming, which is functions. Functions are one of the most powerful features in programming because they help us organize our code, reuse logic, and make program easier to understand. In this video, we will cover what is a function, why functions are important, types of function in C, function declaration, function definition, function call, and finally some examples programs. So if you want to become strong in C programming, make sure you watch this video till the end. Let's start with the first concept. What is a function? So first question, what exactly is a function? In simple words, a function is a block of code that performs a specific task. Instead of writing the same code again and again, we can create a function and reuse it whenever we need. Let's understand with some example. Suppose we want to calculate the sum of two numbers. Find the factorial of a number. Print a message. Check whether a number is even or odd. Instead of writing the logic many times, we can write it once inside a function and call it whenever needed. So basically, function is equal to a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. This helps programmers write clean and efficient program. Next, why function are important? Now, the next question is, why do we use function in programming? Function provides many advantages. First advantage is code reusability. Once you write a function, you can use it many times in the program without rewriting the code. Second advantage is easy debugging. If there is any error in the logic, we only need to check the function instead of checking the entire program. Third, advantages of better program structure. Function divide a large program into small manageable parts, which makes the code easier to understand. Fourth, advantage is reused code length. Because we reuse function, we don't have to repeat the same code again and again. And finally, easy maintenance. If we want to modify some logic later, we just update the function instead of editing the entire program. So these are the reason why functions are extremely important in programming. Let's see the types of function in C. In C programming, functions are mainly of two types, library function and user-defined function. Library function are predefined function already available in C libraries. These functions are created by developers of the C language to perform common tasks. Example include printf, which is used to print output, scanf, which is used to take input, square, which is used to calculate square root. To use this function, we must include the required header using hashtag include. For example, hashtag include studio.h. Next, this allows us to use function like printf and scanf. User-defined function. User-defined function are created by the programmer. These functions are written to perform custom tasks according to the program requirement. For example, we can create functions like sum, factorial, square, check event. Functions help make programs modular and organized. Next, let's see the components of a function. In C programming, every function mainly consists of three components: function declaration, function definition, function call. Function declaration. This tells the compiler about the function name, return type, and parameters. It is also called a function prototype. Function definition. This contains the actual code or logic of the function. This is where we write the statement that performs the task. Function call. This is the statement that executes the function. When the function is called, the program controller moves to that function, executes the code, and then returns back. So remember, declaration tells about the function. Definition contains the logic. Call executes the function. So let's see function declaration. Let's understand function declaration in detail. Function declaration tells the compiler about the function before it is used in the program. This helps the compiler check whether the function is being used correctly. The syntax is return type, function name, parameters. Example, int sum, int a, int b. Here, int is the return type, sum is the function name, and int a, int b are the parameters. This means the function sum will return an integer value and accept two integer argument. Function definition. A function definition is in C program specify the actual code or logic. Function definition contains the actual implementation of the function. This is where we write the logic of the program. Its syntax is return type function name parameters curly brackets code curly brackets close. Let us see an example. Int sum int a b returns a plus b. Here the function two number a and b, add them and return the result. So whenever this function is called, it will calculate the sum and return the value. Now the final step is function call. Function call is used to execute the function. The syntax is very simple. Function name arguments. Let us see an example. Sum 5 and 10. Here we are passing 5 and 10 as arguments to the function. When this statement runs, the program goes to the sum function, executes its code, and then returns the result. Let us see an example code. Now let's understand everything with a complete example program. So let's go to the VS Code and code this. So let's start the coding. Hashtag hashtag include studio.h and sum and a and b and main and result sum 5 comma 10. Print f sum percent d result return 0 and sum and a and b and a and b return a plus b plus b. Let's first we include the studio header file. Then we declare the function sum. Inside the main function, we call the sum function and pass 5 and 10. The function calculates the sum and return the value. So let's save the program and run this program. So let's run the program. So sum is equal to 0. The value is stored in the variable result and then printed using printf. So the output will be sum is equal to 15. So our code is correct and it's give the sum of 10 and 5 is equal to 15. So let's move to the next slide. Let's learn the type of user-defined function. User-defined function can be categorized into 4 types. No arguments and no return value. Arguments but no return value. Arguments with return value. No arguments but return value. No arguments and no return value. The function does not take input and does not return any value. Arguments but no return value. The function take input but does not return anything. Arguments with return value. The function take input and return a result. No arguments but return value. The function does not take input but returns a value. Understanding these types helps you write different kinds of function depending on program requirement. Let's see another simple example. Square function. So let's again open our VS Code and start coding. So I'll delete this code and open new terminal and start coding. Start include studio.h and Here we use square because we are doing code for a square function. So square and n and main and result is equal to square 4 print f square is equal to %d result. Function, let's write function definition and square and n. Let's close it by using return and start n, and let's here the function takes number n and returns and multiply by n. If we pass 4, the output will be square section. So let's save our program and run and check if our code is correct or not. So let's so run. So compilation successful. So our answer is equal to square is equal to 16. This is a simple example of a function with argument and return value. So our code is correct. So today we learn what is a function, types of function, function declaration, function definition, function call, example programs. Functions are extremely important in C programming, and mastering them will help you write clean and efficient code. In the next video, we will learn about arrays and strings in C programming with examples. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.